Did you know that when your child is having a tantrum, the logical part of their brain is literally offline? You can't reason with a brain that's in a state of panic. So when you try to lecture them or send them to their room, you're not teaching them anything. You're just increasing their stress hormones. Most of the discipline advice we get is based on over-explaining, and it's actually making your kids tune you out. The most effective parents use a simple 3-step communication method that gets kids to listen the first time, without yelling, without bribing, and without the endless repetition. I call it the say less, connect more method, and I'm going to teach you all 3 steps right now. This is the key to cooperation, not just compliance. I know you're tired. You're a modern parent, juggling work, life, and the constant feeling that you're somehow failing to keep up with the perfect parenting image you see online. You love your kids fiercely, but when they ignore you for the 5th time, or when they melt down in the grocery store, it feels like you're hitting a wall. You default to yelling, or threatening, or just giving up, and then the guilt washes over you. We've all been there, standing in the kitchen, feeling that familiar knot of frustration tighten in our chest as we hear ourselves say, "I'm counting to 3 for the 10th time this week." This feeling of failure is universal, but it doesn't have to be your reality. We're going to replace that old, ineffective script with a new one rooted in brain science and connection.
But here's the truth. The problem isn't your child's behavior, and it's not your parenting. The problem is the outdated communication script we've all been handed. We've been taught that discipline means control, punishment, and compliance. But modern brain science, championed by experts like Dr. Dan Siegel in his work on the developing mind, shows us that effective parenting is about connection and teaching. It's about working with the brain, not against it. When we understand the science, the frustration melts away, and we can finally start seeing real, lasting change. The Say Less, Connect More method is built on 3 pillars that flip the script on traditional discipline, moving you from being a frustrated police officer to a calm, authoritative coach. Let's dive into the first, most critical step that determines the success of everything else. The first pillar is the 10-second connection reset. When your child is acting out, whether they're whining, ignoring you, or having a full-blown meltdown, your first instinct is to jump straight to the instruction or the punishment. You want to fix the behavior immediately. But remember the hook. Their logical brain is offline. You can't pour water into a cup that's upside down. Their emotional state is running the show, and until you address that, nothing you say will stick. The 10-second connection reset is your essential first step. It's a brief physical and emotional check-in that brings your child's brain back online and signals to them, "I see you, I'm here, and we are safe." This isn't a time for talking, it's a time for being. Here's how it works in a real-life scenario. Imagine your 5-year-old Leo is refusing to put on his shoes for school. You've asked 3 times and now you're running late. You feel your blood pressure rising, the clock is ticking, and you're picturing the traffic jam you're about to hit. The old way, "Leo, I said put on your shoes. We are going to be late. If you don't do it right now, you're losing screen time." This approach is a disaster because your urgency becomes his stress. It floods his system with cortisol, making him less cooperative and more defensive. The new way is the 10-second reset. First, get low. Physically move down to his eye level. This immediately de-escalates the power struggle. You are removing the physical barrier of authority and meeting him where he is. Second, use physical touch, if appropriate. Place a gentle hand on his shoulder, his back, or his knee. This simple, non-verbal gesture releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which is the natural antidote to the stress hormone cortisol. It's a biological signal of safety. Third, acknowledge the feeling. The Dr. Becky approach. Use a short, empathetic statement that names the emotion without judgment. You might say, "It looks like you're really frustrated right now," or "It looks like you don't want to go." You are simply reflecting his internal state. That's it. 10 seconds. You haven't solved the shoe problem yet, but you've done something far more important. You've re-established the connection. You've signaled that you are a safe harbor, not an adversary. This is the foundation of all cooperation. But here's what most parents miss about this step. You have to be genuinely calm. If you go down to their level while your jaw is clenched and your voice is tight, they will sense the inauthenticity. They are experts at reading your nonverbal cues. If you need a moment, take 3 deep breaths before you approach them. This is co-regulation in action. You are lending them your calm nervous system so they can borrow it and bring their own back online. If you skip this step, the next 2 pillars will fail. This is the first retention hook. If you try to discipline a child whose brain is in a panic state, you are not teaching them a lesson, you are only teaching them to fear you. Once the connection is reset and your child's brain is receptive, we move to the instruction. This is the second pillar, the two-word instruction rule. This is where the say less part of the method truly shines. We as modern parents tend to over-explain, thinking that if we just use enough logic, our kids will comply. We give them the why, the when, the if-then consequences, and a mini lecture all in one breath. This is cognitive overload for a developing brain. They hear the first few words, and then it all turns into white noise. The two-word instruction rule is simple. After the connection reset, deliver your instruction using only 2 words. Why 2 words? Because it's clear, direct, and leaves no room for negotiation or confusion. It's the language of authority, but delivered from a place of connection. It forces you to be decisive and removes the emotional drama that comes with pleading or lecturing. Let's go back to Leo and the shoes. You've done the 10-second reset, you're low, you've touched his shoulder, and you've said, "You look really frustrated right now." The 2-word instruction? Shoes on. That's it. Not, "Can you please put your shoes on now?" Not, "We need to put our shoes on because we're late." Just, "Shoes on." This technique works because it's a clear boundary. If he starts to argue, you simply repeat the 2 words in a calm, firm voice. You are a broken record of calm authority. Here's another vivid example that hits close to home for many parents: the dinner table drama. Your 7-year-old, Maya, is standing on her chair, singing loudly while you were trying to have a conversation with your partner. The old way. "Maya, get down. That is rude. We do not stand on the chairs at the table. You need to sit down right now and use your inside voice." Too many instructions, too much emotion, and a focus on shame. The new way. First, the reset. You briefly pause your conversation, make eye contact, and gently place your hand on her arm. You have a lot of energy. Second, the instruction. Feet down. Or sit please. If she continues to stand, you calmly move your hand to guide her feet down. You are teaching her that your words are followed by action, not by a lecture. This is the second retention hook. The key to getting kids to listen isn't saying more, it's saying less, and letting your calm, consistent action do the talking. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about the why? Don't I need to explain the rules? Yes, you do, but not in the heat of the moment. You explain the why later, when everyone is calm and connected. The moment of misbehavior is the time for instruction and boundary setting, not for a philosophy lesson. The third and final pillar is the skill-based repair. This is the most crucial part of the Say Less, Connect More method, and it's what separates compliance from cooperation. Compliance is temporary. It's doing what you're told to avoid punishment. Cooperation is lasting. It's choosing the right behavior because you've learned the necessary skill. As Dr. Becky Kennedy often says, kids are good inside. When they mess up, it's not because they are bad or manipulative. It's because they are missing a skill. They haven't learned how to handle disappointment, how to wait patiently, or how to manage their anger. We need to stop asking, "Why is my child doing this to me?" and start asking, "What skill does my child need to learn here?" The skill-based repair means that after the immediate crisis is over, you don't just move on. You come back and teach the missing skill. This is where the Connect More part of the method comes in, building their emotional intelligence. Let's look at a common scenario, the sibling conflict. Your 2 children, 8-year-old Ethan and 6-year-old Chloe, are fighting over a video game controller. Ethan snatches it and Chloe screams. The old way. "Ethan, give that back to your sister right now. You know better. Go to your room." Focuses on immediate punishment and shaming the older child. The new way. First, you use pillar 1 and 2 to de-escalate. Stop. Separate corners. Once they are calm and separated, you address the situation later that evening when they are both connected. First, review the event without blame. "Hey, remember this afternoon when you both wanted the controller? That was a really big feeling you had wanting something so badly." Second, identify the missing skill. When we want something someone else has, we need to use the skill of asking and waiting for a turn. Ethan, you use the skill of snatching. Chloe, you use the skill of screaming. Neither of those skills helps you get what you want. Third, practice the skill. Then you actively teach the skill. Let's practice. Ethan, how do you ask for a turn? Chloe, how do you respond when someone asks? Let's set a timer for 5 minutes and we'll practice waiting. You are actively teaching her the tool they need for the next time. You are treating the behavior like a math problem she got wrong. You don't punish her for the wrong answer, you teach her the formula. This is the ultimate shift. Here is the third retention hook, and it's a game changer. The moment you start seeing misbehavior as a request for a lesson, not a declaration of war, your entire relationship with your child changes. We need to be intentional about teaching these skills. If your child constantly interrupts your phone calls, the missing skill is waiting patiently. You don't just tell them to stop being rude, you teach them the hand on the arm signal for, "I see you, I'll be 1 minute." If they throw a tantrum because they can't have a toy, the missing skill is handling disappointment. You teach them to say, "I'm disappointed," and then you validate that feeling. This shift from punishing the behavior to teaching the skill is the ultimate retention hook for your child's development. It's how you move from a cycle of endless power struggles to a relationship built on mutual respect and competence. Let's take this a step further and talk about the prevention aspect of this method. The say less, connect more approach isn't just for when things go wrong. It's a proactive strategy. Think about the transition points in your day: getting out the door, cleaning up toys, or bedtime. These are the flashpoints. Instead of waiting for the meltdown, use the two-word rule before the problem starts. For example, 5 minutes before cleanup, you say, "Cleanup time soon." 2 minutes later, 2 minutes left. When it's time, toys away. This consistency and clarity, delivered with a calm connection, creates a predictable environment where your child feels safe and knows exactly what is expected. This predictability is the secret ingredient that reduces anxiety and therefore reduces misbehavior. This is the fourth retention hook. The best discipline is the one you never have to use. The say less, connect more method is not a magic wand. It requires consistency, and yes, it requires you to manage your own emotions first. And here is the final cliffhanger. You will mess this up. You will yell, you will forget the two-word rule. But that's okay, because the final, most powerful lesson you can teach your child is the skill of repair. When you lose your cool, come back later and say, "I was angry and I yelled. That was my mistake. Next time I will try to use my deep breaths." You are modeling accountability, which is the most important skill of all. By implementing the 10-second connection reset, using the two-word instruction rule, and committing to the skill-based repair, you are fundamentally changing the dynamic in your home. You are building cooperation, not just demanding compliance. This isn't just about getting your kids to listen, it's about raising resilient, emotionally intelligent humans who know how to manage their big feelings because you taught them how. So, here is your challenge for the next 24 hours. I want you to pick one recurring struggle. Maybe it's getting out the door, or maybe it's the bedtime routine. For the next day, commit to using only the 10-second connection reset and the two-word instruction rule before you deliver any instruction related to that struggle. Don't try to fix everything at once. Just focus on those two steps. After 24 hours, I want you to come back to the comments below and tell me what changed. Did your child listen the first time? Did you feel less stressed? Share your experience and let's start a conversation about how this method is transforming your home. If you found this framework helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more research-backed strategies that help you parent smarter, not harder. Because you deserve a peaceful home and your kids deserve a connected parent. I'll see you in the next video.